The Floyd Mayweather situation is actually way more terrible than we all thought, man. We knew that Floyd got money problems, but nah, fuck that. We didn't know it was this down bad, bruh. And now we finally got the truth, cause the dude Floyd is out here suing for robbing him of $100+ million, just clapped back hard and dropped them receipts on his ass. And Floyd is flat out broke, dog. I'm talking down to his last fucking dollar broke.
Floyd's spending problem is the reason why he's going broke. I was able to go directly to the source to get private information that hasn't been shared publicly yet, to discuss the recent lawsuit that sent shockwaves throughout the sports world. Mayweather suing former associate in an alleged $175 million fraud scheme. That associate, Jonah, shared with me private text messages, private images of Floyd signing contracts, and access to private communication with this team.
Floyd made $750 million in like 90 minutes of actual work across his whole pro fighting career, dog. We not even counting the $100+ million he pulled from that Conor McGregor circus and the extra $50+ million from all them other celebrity boxing clown shows. How the fuck do you blow through that much money, bro? How is this man out here unable to even make payroll? He can't pay his employees on time cause he honestly don't got the cash, dog. And it's nobody's fault but his own stupid ass. But what you about to watch and hear is Spencer Cornelia breaking this shit down. How Floyd is now trying to blame everybody around him and filing these dumbass frivolous lawsuits against the people who is actually trying to help him out. Right, because he don't want to look in the mirror at all. It's his fault he's broke. It's his fault he mismanaged every dollar. It's his fault he was out here buying $5 million watches for no goddamn reason whatsoever. And now he got nothing left and he's going after the same people who tried to help him.
And the proof I've been given will contradict everything you've heard in the news about this case. By going through all of the claims presented in the lawsuit, I'll share all the private information that I have access to so we can understand fully what's going on with Floyd Mayweather. In 2017, Rechnitz and Mayweather became friends, which ultimately led to Rechnitz becoming Floyd's investment manager, real estate advisor, and banking liaison. Jonah helped put deals together for Floyd. He was his manager. So that's sponsorships, real estate deals, and fights, just to name a few revenue streams. Jonah shared with me that he was not on salary, meaning he only made money when there was a commission on finding a deal. As an example, Jonah shared with me that Floyd was running out of money in 2020, so Jonah put together a fight with Logan Paul to generate income, as well as many other exhibition fights. Turns out the only people actually punching Floyd in the face at this time were the IRS debt collectors. More on that in a minute. The first big claim that Floyd makes is that he wasn't aware that in 2016 Rechnitz had pleaded guilty to wire fraud conspiracy, that Rechnitz had cooperated with the United States attorney, or that Rechnitz had been the subject of significant civil litigation.
This dude is a straight up sketchy character. Russian shit. Whatever the heck his name is. I don't trust him, dog. I really don't. You know I take whatever he says with a fat grain of salt. But it feels like Floyd thought he had this easy scapegoat lined up. Man, Floyd made some dumbass financial decisions. Probably some trash investments, bought a bunch of shit he had no business buying, and this dude was his investment manager. So yeah, this dude probably helped him make them bad calls. Floyd hitting him like, hey bro, I need this, buy me that, invest in this bullshit right here. This dude did exactly what Floyd told his ass to do. And then when it all went to shit, now Floyd thinks he got a perfect scapegoat because this man already got a sketchy past. Courts already know who he is. Nah, dog, he wildin' hard. He already defrauded people out their money before. So when you come with similar claims, this dude gotta fight an uphill battle proving he didn't fuck you over because everybody knows his history. But hold up, this dude got receipts for days, dog. First off, let's start with Floyd just straight up lying in court, claiming he didn't know this dude was a scammer beforehand. Nah, dog, this ain't real. But there's court records of him writing a judge like, hey yo, I know my friend, he's up for whatever. He's a really good guy. Floyd out here giving character statements for this dude in a whole court case he now claims he knew nothing about. It doesn't make sense whatsoever, bro. You cannot make this hypocritical clown shit up.
What Floyd's attorney was trying to do with this complaint is make it look like Floyd was taken advantage of by a guy with a questionable past. Like Floyd is this innocent victim who had no idea who this guy really was. There's a little problem with that, because I have proof he did know. This letter on the screen was sent in 2023 by Floyd Mayweather to a U.S. District Judge for the Southern District of New York. The bottom includes Floyd's name and his signature. For context, this is Floyd Mayweather's letter to the judge in Jonah Recknitz's case, speaking about Jonah's character and why he deserves a better outcome. In the second paragraph, he writes, "We became friendly and I supported him when he was going through the process of being sentenced in 2019. That sounds to me like he knew about Jonah's litigation in New York." In the third paragraph, he writes that Jonah has worked with him as his promoter and business advisor. He has taken the job and run with it, helping Floyd in every aspect and opening up new opportunities. He further mentions the charitable work they've done together. Further down, he mentions that people have tried to take advantage of Jonah by bringing lawsuits against him as a way to extort him. And finally, Floyd writes, "I appreciate you taking the time to read this letter, Your Honor. I would just ask that you consider my personal testimony that Jonah Recknitz is a good person." He claimed that he didn't know about Jonah's past in the complaint, yet he wrote that letter in support of Jonah, showing he clearly knew about the litigation in New York. So it doesn't seem to add up. Many have speculated that Mayweather is coming out of retirement for a rematch with Pacquiao because he needs the money. Yes, this is why. Around August 2025, Floyd needed cash money, so he decided to start pawning his jewelry. Here's a text on August 25th, 2025 of Jonah sending Floyd an image of his watch and the word loan below. That represents that watch as being within the group that was being pawned. Here's the second image sent on that day. The top image is a collection of watches that were grouped together for a November loan and that many had been returned after the balance was paid down. Here's the next message of another collection of watches that were used for a loan. The image on the left is an exhibit Floyd included in the complaint. Within this list are 4 of the watches you see in the text message on the right that were included in the group of watches that were pawned. This indicates he continues to lie about not knowing that his watches were getting pawned for a loan to fund his lifestyle. What was told to me is that Floyd was running out of money. Now, obviously, his broke is a lot different than broke for me and you. But at this time he needed money, so he decided to pawn $13 million from his watch collection. He does have his own jet and has flown private for a couple decades. And he has an extensive exotic car collection. But what has been shared with me is that his lifestyle is so expensive that he constantly needs to take out loans against all his assets. And it's fine when he's fighting and making money because he can pay the loans back. But it's kind of like musical chairs. Here's Floyd texting about having to give up all of his jewelry and watches and all of his women's bags. Further, he sent the text, "Don't forget about my ladies' Birkins, also that's a part of the $13 million. In December 2025, Floyd texted, "Please keep me updated on my jewelry and Birkins, thanks." Back in March, so around 7 months after he began pawning, he texted his pawn shop lender asking about the balance he owes so Jonah knows what the number is. Jonah, as Floyd's manager and the one who handles all the financial transactions, is the one who ensures that all the loans are paid off. The lender responds $1.85 million in checks, $10.8 million in jewelry, and $1.47 million in fees. And he mentions needing another $360,000 by Friday so the fees don't keep adding up. Floyd received the $13 million for pawning watches in his supposed $100 million watch collection. Jonah shared with me that people pay up to 3% per month, which is why the fees were so high. That loan was almost paid in full. If you reread Joel's message, it makes sense. Joel says, "I have recouped everything and hasn't had to sell any pieces. All that remains is another $360,000 so Floyd doesn't have to pay any more fees."
Whatever we do, don't let 50 Cent see this shit, man. For Floyd Mayweather's mental health, bruh, keep 50 far away from this clown show. The worst part about this, right? You already in straight hood bankruptcy, and this ninja's still out here making dumbass decisions, dog. Yo. Can you imagine how Floyd was feeling, man? Putting all that jewelry in the box, loading it up in his car, and driving that shit straight to the pawn shop like a sad-ass delivery. We all know when you gotta pawn your Xbox, dog. First off, just unplugging that bitch already drains your whole spirit, man. You telling yourself, we just need until payday, wrapping up the cords. But deep down, you know you're really about to pull your Xbox out the crib to survive the next week and a half. Then you load it in the car and drive off. Now imagine doing that shit with your $5 million watches, bro. What the fuck? But the worst part, it makes no goddamn sense. If you broke as hell and got no money, why the fuck you pawning the watches and paying $1.4 million in interest on money you don't even have? Why not just sell the watches that you obviously can't afford no more? Sell that shit. If them watches worth $13 million, hell, probably way more, why not sell them straight up, take that fat bag and fix your whole financial situation, right? It makes 0 sense, dog. You pawn them for $13 million. Pay back the 13 plus another 1.4 in interest you broke ass can't afford. Go broke again, then pawn the same shit all over. You're dropping $1 million in interest every cycle like a dumbass and you don't got the money. Sell everything. Sell it all, start from scratch, and live a modest ass life, Floyd. You was rich, ninja. You are rich. Or you was. Why you still trying to look rich for brokies, bro? Pulling up Gucci from head to toe, rocking 4 different watches at the same damn time? $1 million big Cuban chain? Nah, fuck that logic. You out here flexing for broke people, man. It don't make no sense. I'm still stunned as hell, bro, that Floyd really blew through $750 million just from his career earnings alone.
In case you aren't following, Joel can sell the watches that were pawned if Floyd doesn't pay the $13 million back. But he didn't need to sell watches because he was paid back and made $1.5 million in fees. In the complaint, Floyd discusses pawning his $100 million jewelry collection with the words, "to be pledged or placed in the possession of Joel, a Miami jewelry dealer." The amount received was around $13 million. A substantial portion of the pledged jewelry remains in the possession of Joel and Modi, and no accounting has been provided to Mr. Mayweather, and then alleges that the consideration received was diverted by Recknitz and not paid to Floyd. I just shared the text messages between Floyd and Joel, showing the accounting of the transaction, and that nothing seemed to be awry. This is not the first time Floyd has had to take a pawn loan. Earlier last year, he borrowed $1 million from his friend Avi, the owner of Avi & Co., against his $18 million Jacob & Co. watch. Upon research, I realized that even though the retail is $18 million, the market value is about $2 to $3 million, so Floyd's $100 million jewelry collection is more likely worth a fraction of that. Why is Floyd Mayweather pawning jewelry despite being so wealthy and always seemingly around cash? I asked Jonah how much Floyd spends every single month on his team, and Jonah estimated around $1 million, which is why he now needs to exit retirement to fight Manny Pacquiao for a payday. One of the other claims is about Floyd selling his jet and not receiving any money. There's mention in the complaint that the block for the purchaser was left blank. What the media misunderstood was that the plane wasn't sold for $1 like the complaint lists here. Here's the actual signed contract, which does list the consideration of $1 and OVC, and you can see Floyd's signature down below. I think what was misunderstood is that the plane didn't actually sell for $1. OVC means other valuable considerations, which means the sale was for more than $1. This happens when private parties don't want the amount known to the public. Here's the text message between Jonah and Floyd. Jonah sent the payoff letter from the lender of his private jet, as well as a letter from Navy Federal Credit Union regarding a $2.787 million payoff. What happened was Floyd took out a large loan against the value of the jet. So when the jet was sold, a large chunk of the money went to pay off the loan and many of his other debts. Here's the payoff demand statement for the jet. Highlighted is borrower named Floyd Mayweather. The total loan payoff is around $2.79 million, and the highlight in the bottom left is the property collateral as the Gulfstream Learjet. This is the bank wire transfer receipt from the credit union. Both of these documents were sent to Floyd, so he's clearly lying about the jet only selling for $1 and him being out of the know on the jet selling. The picture on the left is Floyd signing the contract, and the picture on the right is Floyd holding the aircraft purchase and sale agreement right after signing it. Does he look disappointed in the terms of the sale? This is the text Jonah sent to Floyd in September 2025, indicating that the house and airplane contracts were done, and Floyd responded, "Let's go." To make it even more clear that Floyd knew about the plane purchase and the terms of the purchase and sale, here's a text between Floyd and Jonah where Floyd writes, "Can you call me about the plane, please? I need for you to update me, please." And Jonah responded, "Plane is ready to close." Jonah saved hundreds of private images, screenshots of text messages, and I can understand why he did it. They were dealing with millions upon millions of dollars. Floyd was going broke, and Jonah worried that Floyd was going to start blaming those around him for his financial problems. Back in November 2025, Jonah sent this message to Floyd saying, "I can help continue to create income for you for life, but you need to start saving more money and spending less."
There should be a real last lesson for all y'all watching this shit right now. No amount of money is unrunnable, all right? You think $750 million? Nah, dog, there's no way anybody could blow through that. But Floyd ran through it, and now the ninja is broke. Floyd had the chance to probably be up 10, 15 billion by now if he made the right investments, bro. Magic Johnson probably made like a tenth of what Floyd made in his whole career, and Magic is up a whole B, dog. Jay-Z probably made a tenth. Maybe 5% of what Floyd pulled in his career. But Jay took his music money and turned that shit into $1 billion. It makes no fucking sense why Floyd Mayweather is out here having money issues and not up a B right now. Bruh, you was this close to $1 billion. Y'all let me know in the comments. What do y'all think about this mess, man? And don't forget to like and subscribe if you want more videos like this. Until then, stay tuned.